Hey Magic fans, it's Paul from Let's Talk Magic, formerly the Orlando Magic UK, here with the Let's Talk Magic podcast game preview. The Orlando Magic tonight face the Lakers on the road in Los Angeles. The Magic are on the first night of a back-to-back, whilst the Lakers, it's the second night of a back-to-back for them. UK tip time is a 2:30 a.m. tip, so 2:30 Tuesday morning. That's a 10:30 tip for our friends in Orlando and 7:30 in California. To watch here in the UK, you will need an active NBA League Pass subscription. So let's talk about the Magic first of all. On the season so far, great start, 2-0. Tied first in the East and doing very nicely. Points per game, we're still only not doing as well as we could be, ranking 20th at 109 points per game on average, and against we're conceding only 91, which is the least in the NBA. I know it's a small sample size, but it's a great start. Offensive rating, we are 10th, defensive rating 3rd at this moment in time. The Magic are in the upper echelons of most NBA categories at this moment in time. Rebounding, all categories of free throws, steals, both made and least conceded, and what we allow opponents is top 10 in every single category. Scoring, Franz Wagner's leading with 21 points per game, Cole Anthony at 19 and Paolo Banchero with 13. Granted, Paolo's figures is a little bit down on last season. However, you are seeing him using the ball and he does seem to have a better efficiency. So let's not get worried. Don't worry about that at this stage of the season. It's all good. We're scoring by committee and it's working nicely. So the Magic opened this 4-game road trip with a hard-fought win over the Portland Trail Blazers by 102-97. Final quarter saw Portland come back from 13 points down to within 5, but the Magic showed a composure and maturity to hold out for that win. That's possibly a game where we would not have won in previous seasons, so it's a step in the right direction. Be pleased with this. Had Orlando actually hit more than the 65% of the 32 free throws that the team had, victory could have been so much more comfortable. Franz Wagner led the team with 23 points. Cole Anthony scored 18 from the bench. And Mo Wagner went a perfect 8 of 8 from the field for his 17 points. It was interesting to see that Coach Mosley trusted the bench guys to be part of the closing unit. Markelle Fultz and Wendell Carter both saw their minutes dramatically down, and Jonathan Isaac didn't feature at all in the second half. Cole Anthony, he played the entirety of the fourth quarter, and Mo Wagner played all of that quarter, bar 90 seconds. Strong stats from the game. We got 45 rebounds, 22 assists, 10 steals and 5 blocks. Turnovers were again far less than we'd seen in previous season. This time round we are averaging 15 turnovers per game. Starting unit was as expected. Markelle Fultz with Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero and Wendell Carter Jr. And the core bench unit was maintained with, I'm sorry, my phone's just decided to move. Let's adjust that. Yeah, the core bench unit was maintained with performances coming from Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac, Joe Ingles and Mo Wagner. Coach Mosley kept the rotation at just the 10 people. We saw that Orlando held Portland to just 38 points in the paint. In the opening 2 games, the Magic are averaging just 35 points conceded per game in the paint. It's important to remember that last season the average per game was a shade over 50 points per game. Shows what Orlando are doing. Tonight, I expect the coach to have a view that he will stick with a formula that is working. The team focus will be again on building from defence, one-on-one isolation, hounding the ball handlers, active hands, getting those steals and deflecting passes. It's stuff that can trouble the Lakers without a doubt. But we'll come to more of that in a little while. Barring any late injuries, expect the starting unit and probably the core bench to be very, very similar to what we have seen. Yes, it's the first night of a back-to-back. There may be some attention to giving players a little bit less time on the court, but we will see. Magic injury report. Kevon Harris is again listed as being out. And Trevelyan Queen, our two-way player, one of our three two-way players, is also listed as not going to be featuring. Yeah, well, let's talk about the Lakers. Looking back, last season was a story of two halves for the purple and gold. Ultimately, a 43-39 record saw them finish 7th in the league in the West. Beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 7-8 playoff game, and then dispatched the Grizzlies and Golden State to reach the Western Conference Final, eventually losing 0-4 to the Denver Nuggets. Over the summer, deals were made with existing players Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hashimura and Austin Reeves. They brought in Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Taurean Prince, Christian Wood and Cam Reddish. Via the draft, they picked up guard Jalen Hood-Schifino. Season stats so far, 1-2. Road loss in Denver, home win over Phoenix, road loss last night to Sacramento. Standing 10th in the West, so they are averaging 111.3 points per game and conceding 115.3. Offensively, only 19th and defensively ranking 14th. So they've got some work to do, but they are a team that are capable. A lot of this team's focus on offence comes from inside the arc and drawing fouls. We all remember that from last season. Shot creation is more of an individual basis than by assists, and three-point shooting has been somewhat of an issue for a team so far. It's not their biggest offensive focus, as I say. They take relatively few shots from beyond the arc per game, but they do have one of the lower success rates with that three-point shot in the league. They do force opponent turnovers through ball pressure and can be very effective at making steals, and it's a team that values the ball top 10 in fewest turnovers per game. Last game, the Lakers played Sacramento last night, losing overtime 1-2-7, 1-3-2 to the Kings. The game saw Anthony Davis impacting with a 30-point and 16-rebound double-double. LeBron James almost notched a triple-double with 27 points, 15 rebounds and 8 assists. Their starting five was D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Taurean Prince and Anthony Davis. Rui Hashimura, Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood and Cam Reddish all came from the bench as they stuck to a 10-man rotation. As to tonight, their injury report hasn't been submitted at the point of compiling this. However, last night, Jared Vanderbilt and Jalen Hood-Schifino were out. Cam Reddish had been listed as day-to-day, but he did feature. Equally, all three of their two-way players were not used. Being second night of a back-to-back, it could impact on who Coach Darwin Ham chooses in the starting unit. It could impact on his rotations and certainly the minutes involved for those players. It's especially true when you consider that the Lakers' next game is against the Clippers in 2 nights' time. So that game probably has more importance in respect of it being a division and conference rival than playing the team from the East. That being said, it's fair to expect little variation in their core units. Minutes and bench usage, as I say, could be a little different. Head-to-head, 68 regular season games played, which the Lakers are in the lead 45-23. The Lakers have now won 6 straight, sweeping the series 2-0 in the last 3 seasons. Granted, last season, as I said, the Lakers got a lot of help from the officials in LA when Austin Reeves really only had to breathe to get free throws. It was ridiculous. Orlando's last victory over the Lakers was also their last victory over the purple and gold. and that came in January 2020. So, final thought for tonight. This is a young Magic team, and we have to get out onto the Lakers' home court tonight and play our game, not be dictated to by the home side. Against the Kings, the Lakers struggled at times to deal with the pace and intensity that Sacramento were showing, and this is where I say we will come to that about how the Lakers played. It's our first night on a back-to-back, and Orlando do have an opportunity to go 3-0 on the season. Whilst there's not a lot of travel involved from Sacramento back to Los Angeles, they are coming off of an extremely difficult, hard-fought overtime defeat in Sacramento, and it's the second night of a back-to-back for the Lakers. You've got to remember that the 10 core players that the Lakers have been using so far this season have a vast experience in dealing with difficult situations. They know, as was seen last night, how to win. I know they didn't ultimately win. They came back several times from large deficits. They had a determination to try and win that game. Ultimately, they fell short against what is a strong Kings team, but perhaps that just gives the Lakers a hunger to redeem the situation against another up-and-coming side tonight. But for me, if the Magic play their game, respect their opponents, but aren't overawed, they can end this losing run against one of the most successful teams in the NBA. Won't be easy, it will be hard fought, but it is winnable. If you enjoy this preview, please give it a thumbs up and go Magic.